Hi, my name is Yugala Priti and I'm from Lithuania. I was born in a normal Western family. Growing up, I had not much contact of Krishna or Bhakti Yoga. I was born in a Christian family, so traditions were important in our family. So every Sunday we would go to church where we would connect with God, do some prayers, and then of course the major Christian celebrations were there as well. But somehow that didn't feel quite enough for me, and I remember looking for something deeper. When I was 16 or 17, I really wanted to learn more about why we're here, what's the goal of life, what's the meaning of everything. So that led me to getting in touch with Krishna consciousness and with Iskcon movement, which I'm so grateful that I'm here practicing Bhakti Yoga. And now I've been practicing Bhakti Yoga for over 10, 12 years, and I found the deepest purpose, deepest meaning in my life. Hare Krishna, my name is Yugala Priti Devi Dasi, and I'm from Lithuania. The spiritual journey I've started when I was about 16 years old. So now I've been practicing spirituality for over 12 years or so. And it was a wonderful journey so far. It's been a wonderful journey. I grew up with my family. We have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and I'm the 5th one. And so it was really nice growing up together. And we would go to church. I was born in a Christian family, so traditions were important in our family. So every Sunday we would go to church where we would connect with God, do some prayers. And then of course the major Christian celebrations were there as well. But somehow that didn't feel quite enough for me. And I remember looking for something deeper. When I was 16 or 17, I really wanted to learn more about why we're here, what's the goal of life, what's the meaning of everything. So that led me to getting in touch with Krishna consciousness and with Iskcon movement, which I'm so grateful that I'm here practicing Bhakti Yoga. But really, if we look back a little bit more, I think my journey started a little bit earlier. I remember as a little kid, I used to see Harinams, where the devotees, they come out on the streets in groups and they sing together the holy names of the Lord, and they dance and chant, and it's just very beautiful, colorful festival. So growing up in a seaside resort in Palanga, where lots of tourists come every summer, so devotees would also come. They would come and they would do these big festivals called Ratha Yatra. Ratha Yatra is where the Lord of the universe, Lord Jagannath, comes out in his chariot and he just gives the mercy freely to everyone. So as a little girl, maybe 5 or 6 years old, I remember seeing the devotees dancing joyfully in those festivals, and I was attracted in my heart. I could feel that this is something special. And devotees were very kind. They would smile at me, wave at me, give me some prasadam or sacred food, some sweets. And so this was happening every summer. And actually, my family, we have a little guest house where we rent the rooms and people come and stay, especially during summer season. Otherwise, it's quite empty because it's cold and people don't really come. But in summers, it's quite busy. And the house is in such a location that it's located to a big car park near the river. So devotees, when they would arrive in summertime, they would park in that car park just next to our house. So I would see them more often then, because they would be coming every day to the car park, collecting the drums, the mridangas, cymbals, and going out on the streets. So I would see them and I would wave at them from my balcony and just jokingly say Hare Krishna. So now I understand that this has built what we call sukriti, or this pious credit, over the years, over time, me innocently kind of jokingly chanting Hare Krishna, eating sacred food, prasadam, seeing the devotees, maybe a little bit dancing, joining them, it has led me to really build that interest and desire to learn more about Krishna. So then when I turned 16, I think, then I was still in school, and I was interested in all kinds of, yoga, meditation, spirituality. And my mother, I have to give credit to my mother because she's a very spiritual woman, and she would bring us, the kids, to many different programs, meditation retreats, yoga classes, chakra meditations, and it was all very interesting to me. But it didn't quite, fulfill what I was deeply yearning for. So I kept looking. And so she would also bring us a lot of books, spiritual books, self-help books. And she would give us money to read those books to encourage us. So she would give me like thick books like this, and she would give us like 50 euros. At that time, it was different currency. To finish that book. And I was not so much reading for the money, but just because I was so interested, I was looking for that knowledge. So I would just read many, many of those books. And then eventually, after going to one of those seminars, one of my school friends, he saw me that I attended one of those seminars, and then he spoke to me. He was like, I saw you were there at that seminar. Are you interested in spirituality? And I was like, yes, very much so. And so then he told me that there is this preaching center, this local kind of temple that I could go to. And he said, you can go for the programs there. So I went there, and initially it was programs on Vedic sciences, like lectures on men-women psychology from Vedic perspective, lectures on Ayurveda. And then eventually I started going for the morning classes, which was pretty much straight up philosophy, Bhakti Yoga, very much straightforward. And I liked it very much. It was something that answered all my questions. It made a lot of sense, and I was like, this is it. So I bought a bunch of books from the center, and I started reading at home. I think one of the first books that I read was Autobiography of Srila Prabhupada, written by Satsvarup Das Goswami, and that really, really inspired me, just reading the life story of Srila Prabhupada and how he came to the West to spread this mission of Krishna consciousness, to give Krishna to everyone. And then I started reading Bhagavad Gita, which I couldn't understand much at that time. Yes, and I was about to finish my school. I was 18 years old, and I had to choose what to do with my life. What are the next steps? So what attracted me the most from all the opportunities, what to study, I really wanted to study something that's practical and something that I can help people with. So I found out about Ayurveda, the science of life, the knowledge of life. And I was like, this is it. This is something that I would be really interested in studying. And it's natural. It's something that's applicable to all people. It can help to people, and it's practical. You can apply it in your daily life. So I was very enthusiastic about that. But in Lithuania at that time, we had no programs in universities to study Ayurveda. So I was looking where I could, study Ayurveda. And one option that came up was London. So I enrolled in Middlesex University in London, and I finished school and moved to London, which was a big thing in my family because my brothers, sisters, they all stayed in Lithuania, studying in Lithuania, and I was the first one who kind of ventured abroad. And there I go. I come as a 18 years old to this big city, London, and joining the university. And as we start the university program, they are telling us that, look, we didn't get enough students for Ayurveda course. It was only like 3 or 4 students. And they told us you can swap to another one. You can swap to another contemporary medicine course, either Chinese medicine, herbal medicine, or acupuncture. So I chose Chinese medicine and acupuncture. Of course, I was really sad that I couldn't do my Ayurveda studies. But anyway, I gave it a try to Chinese medicine. But after a few months, after less than a year, I realized this is not my thing. I'm not connecting. I don't see myself in the future as a Chinese medical doctor or as an acupuncturist. These acupuncture, we tried it in the hospitals. We would have practice where we would put needles on the patients, and we would also get needles put on us. And for me, it was the scariest thing. I don't like needles, and it was really like, I can't imagine myself doing this for life. So I just dropped out. I dropped out from the uni, and it was, of course, it was a challenging time. My parents were not impressed, but they wished me well. They said, okay, if you feel like you can't really, sustain this, if you feel this is not for you, then what to do, They just want you to be happy. So I dropped out, and one reason was, of course, because I didn't connect with Chinese medicine, but another, I think, bigger reason was I was yearning for spirituality. I really wanted to dive deep and just immerse myself in Krishna consciousness. So I left the university, and I was looking for jobs for some time. I thought, okay, I need to earn some money. So I think for a brief period of time, I was working in different places. And then I just joined the temple. I moved to Bhaktivedanta Manor, ladies ashram, where I ended up spending almost 5 years. And that was the most beautiful time, very transformative, and it helped me to build this foundation for my future, spiritual foundation. So that was it. I was 19 years old and just fully living in the temple. And Bhaktivedanta Manor is a beautiful, beautiful temple donated by George Harrison. And it has beautiful grounds, lots of nature, and just an amazing community of devotees. So that was the time for me to just be fully immersed, practice sadhana, spiritual practices of chanting, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, waking up early, 4 o'clock in the morning, attending the morning program, and then engaging in different temple services. One of my services in the temple was to take care of the guest house. So I would take the bookings, accommodate the guests in the guest house. And then later on, my services shifted to traveling and distributing books, teaching courses for newcomers, for new practitioners of bhakti, then some small temple services. But it was a fantastic time, connecting with like-minded people and sharing spirituality with others. So I really relished that time. So then after spending those few years in the temple, I realized I want to study more deeply spiritual wisdom. So I decided to go to India. And for the first few trips, I went together with some devotees. One time I traveled with a senior devotee, Mother Kalangana, and I was just serving her while she was taking Ayurvedic treatment. I would cook for her and just take care of her. So that was a beautiful time where I learned directly from a senior devotee. And then I would just go myself to India just to learn Bhakti philosophy. So I would go to Mayapur mainly and learn Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, which are courses where we would study Prabhupada's books on a deeper level, like really thoroughly. And I would spend months at a time and then would come back to London. Then at some point I came to Govardhan Eco Village to do my yoga course, yoga teacher trainings course, because I was thinking, okay, at some point I'm gonna leave the temple life and I'm gonna be married, and I need to do something with my life, not just spiritual practice may not be enough. So I felt what could be the career opportunity, and I realized that yoga is a great choice, because you get to teach people physical asanas, but you can also give them philosophy. You can teach them about Krishna. You can tell them about different practices that they can do in addition to the asana practice. So Govardhan Eco Village was fantastic. We spent here 1 month. I came together with my sister, and she also enjoyed the course very much. And we became yoga teachers. And then after that, I've been teaching on some retreats and just one-to-one classes and different things. Then I met my husband. We met in India, in Vrindavan, also while serving together in Iskcon. And he's a wonderful devotee. So then we got married, and he encouraged me, like, look, you had the desire to study Ayurveda. Why don't you look at it again? So he helped me to find a course online, and then one in India. So we came to Kerala and we studied Ayurveda. And I became Ayurvedic lifestyle coach. So this is what I do right now. I am teaching yoga, Ayurveda, and Bhakti. And I feel this is very fulfilling for me, because people are looking for something deeper in life. And I feel that through the combination of Bhakti, Yoga, and Ayurveda, we can take care of all the aspects. We can take care of the body through the physical asanas of yoga. We can take care of the mind through the breathing practices of yoga. We can take care of the body through Ayurvedic nourishing practices and detox treatments and diet. And we can also take care of the soul, of who we actually are as a spirit soul, as a jiva, by nourishing ourselves through bhakti process, which is a very simple process wherein we are connecting to Krishna. Through the process of chanting the holy names of the Lord. So I'm very, very grateful that my journey has led me to this point where I'm happily married and serving the devotees, serving the bigger audience of people through these assets.
What are the changes in your life? What is your life now after being a devotee? What are the positive changes you have seen?
So I've noticed quite a few positive changes since I became a devotee of the Lord, well, trying to be a devotee of the Lord. First of all, you feel so much peace in your heart, because you understand that you're not alone. You realize that Krishna is your best friend, and whatever is happening, even though you may be going through some challenging situations, it's natural. Life is a bit like roller coaster ride, and we get different challenges that can help us grow. But if you have that realization, that understanding that Krishna is there for me, and whatever is happening for me, it's for the best. Then I feel that helps us to remain calm and peaceful and grateful for whatever good things, whatever challenges may come upon us. So I feel that's been the biggest gift that I've been receiving through this process of Bhakti Yoga. And there's a lot more, but I think that's the main one.
Okay, and being a Ayurvedic practitioner and a yoga teacher, can you tell the audience about 3-4 things which we all should practice in daily life to be healthy and fit?
So some 3 simple tips that I could share now spontaneously from the point of Ayurveda would be to take a look at our diet and sleep and exercise. These 3 pillars are considered to be the pillars of health in Ayurveda. So if we can have a diet consisting of freshly prepared meals, ideally cooked at home, where you put the best of energy into your meals, and cooking with love and devotion. You can offer that food that you cook to Krishna and he will accept it. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam, that whatever you offer, whether it's a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, if you offer it with love, I'll accept it, Krishna says. So if we can do this practice, cooking with love and offering to Krishna, and then we honor that as prasadam, as mercy of the Lord, that will help us to not only be healthy on a physical level, but also evolve spiritually by eating Krishna's prasadam. So that's one thing, freshly prepared meals and offered to Krishna. When it comes to exercise, try to move your body every day. Even if it's a little walk for 10-15 minutes, that will be great help and help you to move the lymphatic system. And some stretching. So whenever you're sitting for extended period of time, just do a little bit of head movements, some back stretches, cat and cow while you're seated. So just being intentional about moving your body. And then the third one, make sure you get 8 hours. Well, it depends from person to person. But the main thing is to sleep before 10 p.m. Ayurveda says if you rest before 10 p.m., then your nervous system is recuperating. Your body is rejuvenating during those hours before the midnight. Those are the golden hours. So make sure you're sleeping during that time.
What is your message to reduce stress and being mentally fit and healthy?
Okay, so I think to help us reduce stress and be less pressurized by the society and people telling us different things, I feel what would be the most important is to have a regular sadhana. Sadhana is a Sanskrit word that comes from two words, sat and dana. Sat means eternal, dana means wealth. So sadhana is something that will stay with you forever. It's your eternal wealth. So at least try to have your morning as fixed as possible. So your morning hours, whatever it may be, maybe it's half an hour, maybe it's 20 minutes, but have it fixed every morning and let it change as least as possible. Meaning that every morning you wake up and you're doing the same thing. So maybe offering a little prayer, maybe chanting a few rounds of japa mala, which is the meditation on the holy name of Krishna. And I feel that will really help you to be more peaceful throughout the day, because your morning is setting the tone for your day. Then you'll be able to take on the challenges that the day will bring on and feel less stressed, because your priorities will be right. Your priority is your spiritual welfare.
What is spirituality as per you, in your perspective?
Spirituality is something that helps us to connect to the source, to Krishna. And we as spirit souls, we are Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nitya Das. We are part and parcels of Krishna. So we can only be happy, truly happy, when we are engaged in serving the Lord through the mantra meditation, chanting the holy names of Krishna, reading the books about Krishna, associating with devotees of Krishna. That will really help us to uncover our true spirituality. We are all spiritual by nature. We're spirit souls, but we're slightly covered. The example that is given in the Shastras is that our soul, imagine it to be like a mirror that's covered with a layer of dust, from the many lifetimes that we've been living in this universe, from time immemorial. It's covered with a thick layer of dust. So we can't really perceive ourselves, who we truly are as a spirit soul. But as soon as we begin this process of chanting Hare Krishna, it's like Cheta Darpana Marjanam. It's like cleansing the mirror of the heart. And then we can begin to see ourselves as a spirit soul, as a servant of Krishna.
Teachings from Bhagavad Gita you can share with the audience.
Okay. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us that it's important to engage in spiritual practice. And some simple things that we can remember is we want to have A, B, C, D in our life. A means or stands for association. So surrounding yourself with like-minded people, with people who are equally interested in spiritual life, and discussing with them Shastra, discussing scriptures with them, enlightening each other about Krishna. B stands for books. So it's very important that we spend time on a daily basis reading something spiritual. See, even if you read 2 verses a day, Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses. If we read 2 verses every day, then in 1 year we'll finish the entire Bhagavad Gita. So it's not so much about perfection, but it's a gradual, slow progress. It's about, what's the word? Continuosity or consistency. Yeah, that's the right word. Consistency is the key. So every day, bathe your mind in Shastra. In Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning, there is a preface kind of. Lord Shiva says to Parvati, Maline Moshanam Pumsam, Jalasnanam Dine Dine, Sakrit Gitamrita Shnanam, Samsara Malanashanam. That just like every day you take a bath to cleanse your body from impurities, from material impurities, so the same way, Jalasnanam Dine Dine, every day we should take the bath in the sacred words of the Bhagavad Gita to cleanse our mind, to cleanse our heart. So that's B, books. And C, chanting. Chanting is the key practice in this day and age in Kali Yuga. It's the most simple process. Everyone can do it. And start somewhere small, maybe just 5 minutes a day where you sit peacefully and you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and you will feel the immediate benefits. You'll feel tremendous effects. So chanting is the Yuga Dharma, as they say. And D stands for diet. So make your diet sattvic diet. Try to avoid meat, mushrooms, onion, garlic if you can, and that will help you to also progress spiritually.
1 or 2 learnings from your life?
Mm-hmm.
The whole life.
Wow, that's a deep question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, one of the learnings that I feel I've been learning over and over again is that we need to trust the process, trust Krishna. And because over time I've seen that even though I may have worries like, how is this going to work out, or what am I supposed to do, why is this happening, but over time I've seen that Krishna is there holding your hand and he's taking care, and I just need to trust the process and take more shelter of Krishna, take more shelter of spiritual books, of Guru, of Sadhu and Shastra, as they say. So that's one. Another key learning would be that I feel that living in this world, I realized over and over again that life can be really full of so many challenges and people suffer a lot. Even Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that this world is dukhalayam ashashvatam. Krishna rubber stamps this word and says that it's dukhalayam. Dukha means misery. Alaya means place. So he says this place is full of misery. Ashashvatam is temporary. That this world, this life is temporary. So when I go out into the world and I'm connecting with people outside, I feel that there's so much suffering in the world. And that the only shelter really is spirituality, is Bhakti Yoga, where we can connect with Krishna, we can connect with ourselves and become rooted in spiritual practices, and that will help us to remain strong and sheltered even through the adversities that will come inevitably. So I feel that this has been a lesson that keeps coming back to me, that I just need to be rooted in my spirituality and then everything will be fine.
And one final question. What is one message you want to give it to the audience, the Western audience, basically?
One message, that's a tough one, but what comes to me right now, one message. Just trying to stop thinking too much and just feel from the heart, what is that one message? The word compassion comes, that let's be compassionate to each other and to animals and to everyone around us. We are all surrounded by jivas, by spirit souls, so let's try to be compassionate and be vegetarian and try to engage in the most compassionate way of spirituality, meaning the most compassionate way, being compassionate to ourselves, which would mean that we are engaging in the highest welfare activity, which is spiritual practice. So when we are practicing Bhakti Yoga, that's when we are most compassionate to ourselves and to others. So I guess that would be my message, let's be compassionate. For more inspirational stories like this, please subscribe to this channel. Wake up and shine.